Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about something I probably should have talked about a lot earlier. And anyway, it's about why I disabled the comments on my videos. I had a robust one person actually inquire as to why I did this. Maybe it didn't bother people that much, but I could see by the diminished viewership it probably has more so maybe than I anticipated. But I do apologize for this, not because I'm really sorry about what I did, but I know that others some people may be hurt because they wanted to put some comments and ask their questions or whatever, and now they're deprived of doing that. But the thing about this is that this astrology was starting to get to a point where it was dominating my existence. I mean, there would be some days I would be on asking questions for 2.5 hours on one day. I mean, forgive me, that's preposterous. Considering the viewership I have, which is not like these upper echelon YouTube astrologers, for me, I don't think I can really rationalize that. I could see if I was really up there with some of the quote-unquote bigger wheels, I guess, that are doing this same thing that I'm doing. But for me, it just, I can't, what I think, what had bothered me was that I'd get somebody asked me one time to define 2 words, and all person had to do was go on to Google.com and look them up, and I'm thinking, what is going on with people? I understand in certain instances people are writing to me because they want to get my insight on something. If somebody was to ask, say, Edwin, what does it mean to have the sun sign in Cancer in the 3rd house in your natal chart? Well, I mean, I understand they want my take on it, but let's see, couldn't the person have just gone and watched the 2 videos that could give that answer to them? They could look at the Sun in Cancer video and then the Sun in the 3rd house video. And then they could kind of use their own little creativity and incorporate the 2, and they could blend it in. That's all that would have to be done in that instance. I think what was going on was in a number of instances, I'm not saying everybody, but in many instances, people could have either Googled things or they could have referred to videos that I previously produced to answer their inquiries. And I mean, I can't understand why this was actually even happening. If some people were becoming too dependent on me, they just got used to me answering certain questions and they felt I would just answer whatever was out there. And of course there's going to be some derogatory remarks and commentary. I understand that that's not the main reason I stopped this. This was just becoming, the answering the questions was becoming too time consuming. Now a lot of the comments were just positive statements. I understand that. They'd say, oh, Edwin, I appreciate your work, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I understand that's okay. All I have to do is just hit approve and then put the comment on that particular video, on the comments section of that video. But not everyone was like that. And there would be a number of people that would be asking 6 or 7 questions in one shot, in one day, where I wasn't even given enough. I mean, you people, I understand there's no stipulation regarding this, but out of consideration and respect to a person, I can't understand or fathom why somebody would ask that many questions on one day or in one comment, and they expect the person to just sit there and analyze the thing and just answer it. Because the way I look at it, now everybody's different. When I see other people doing what I do, if I ask them something, it's just going to be one question. I'm not going to generally make it a compound question. People might, others' contention might be, well, gee, it was only one question. But you could say, but you could ask 6 things in one question, and that's really, when you dissect it, it's essentially 6 things. If I said to this person, I wrote somebody and I said, what does it mean to have Mars in the 4th house, okay, square my Jupiter in the 1st, and have a conjunction to the ascendant, and have that make an opposition to Saturn in my 7th. Now that's almost like around that's a multiple question. That might be like 4 things or so to try to decipher in one. That might be one question, but they want you to figure out multiple things in that. And to me, that's a part of that really figured prominently in me disabling the comments. Now, if the viewership diminishes and plummets to a point where it really gets low, I might not have any other choice but to enable the comments once again. But I'd be very honest with you, and I don't want to sound selfish or anything, but I'm really very reluctant to do so. It just was getting to a point where it was just dominating my existence, this astrology, and I do have to have a life outside of it. And if it means that the views deteriorate or they diminish, I mean, that's what's going to happen. And they have, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm an honest person. I'm very ethical, and I'll speak the truth. But at the same time, I do appreciate you people out there that have stuck with me and haven't boycotted the ship just because I disabled comments, because the people that have done that really have shown me they weren't very loyal and steadfast subscribers, and to me that just kind of showed who was real and who wasn't in terms of the loyalty factor as far as my videos go. And at the same time, I do have to consider, do I have, maybe I'll have no choice but to allow them again. Just because someone puts a comment up and asks me a 6-part question doesn't mean I have to answer it. I have to maybe be a little more open-minded as far as that goes. Maybe I could just approve the ones that aren't going to be that time-consuming for me to answer or respond to. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for why I disabled comments on my YouTube channel. And stay tuned next time, where I will be talking about having Pisces on the cusp, talking about having Aquarius on the cusp of the 2nd house in the natal chart. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, a person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.